I'm Russ Thompson here with you live from Garcelon Field here on the campus of Bates College. The top seed already knocked off, but we've got a great matchup coming up here. The 2 seed Wesleyan Cardinals come into this game on a 15-game winning streak. They dropped their first game of the year to Bates. Since then, they have rattled off 15 in a row. And they will take on the 7-time defending NESCAC champions. The last time that somebody other than Tufts won this was Wesleyan back in 2009. Their only NESCAC championship, their 5-time runners-up. And these are 2 of the better teams in the NESCAC, there's no doubt about that. And it's also the best offense in Tufts coming in averaging 17 goals a game against the best defense in Wesleyan, only allowing 8.8 goals per game. Wesleyan comes in with a first-team All-NESCAC goaltender in Ted Bergman. They come in with the Coach of the Year in John Rauba in his 21st season. Harry Stanton leads the league with 59 goals. And also Taylor Gueskire coming in, and he's got 34 goals on the year. Tufts comes in with the second points leader in the NESCAC, Danny Murphy. They've also got a couple second-team All-NESCAC players in Ben Connolly and Aren Brookmate. And it's interesting, Tufts comes in here 7 straight NESCAC champions, but they have a new coach this year. Casey Dinalfo comes in his first season. He's a 2006 Tufts, that is, alum. He led the Taft School for the last couple of years, but now he is back at his alma mater, and he's looking to maintain that dominance and get a 8-season NESCAC championship run going here. These 2 teams played about a couple weeks ago, back on April 22nd. It was a home game for Wesleyan, and they took that one 17-16. They were down 12-8, and at one point they scored 5 of the last 6 goals to pull out a 17-16 win. And Harry Stanton had 8 goals in that game. Danny Murphy had 5 for Tufts, and that was one of the games of the year. Tufts started this season with 11 straight wins, but then they dropped 4 in a row, including losing the last regular season game of the year to Bowdoin, 19-15. They turned around in the quarterfinal game and won a shootout against Bowdoin, 12-11 to get here. So certainly tons and tons of storylines. Tufts will play 2 goaltenders in this game. Ben Schmerler will start the first half. They've been doing this all year long. First half is Schmerler, and second half, Robert Trieber. Schmerler leads the league in save percentage at .589, but on the other side of the field will be Ted Bergman, and he comes in with a .574 save percentage, and he was good enough for first-team All-NESCAC. Earlier today, we saw Middlebury, the 6th seed, advance to play in the NESCAC championship game. Middlebury and Tufts are both tied with 7 NESCAC championships. So both of them will be looking to break that tie. And also Wesleyan is looking for their second NESCAC championship in program history. We will step aside here, have the national anthem, the starting lineups. We'll come back. The second semifinal just around the corner right here on the Northeast Sports Network. We are back here on the Northeast Sports Network. Russ Thompson here with you. My producer today is Dan Chassie, also cameraman, and we are set to get underway. The two face-off men today will be Zach Zavalik and Henry Holland, two of the better face-off players in the conference. One thing to note here, Danny Murphy, second in the NESCAC in points. He missed the final 2 games of the regular season with an injury, but he is back out there today. No idea if he's close to 100%, but certainly that should help as he comes in with 46 goals and 32 assists on the year. First face-off being fought for. And ground ball right outside the Wesleyan box. There is 6 or 7 players fighting for it. They're going to call a violation as Wesleyan came out of the box too early. Tufts ran there before the officials blew the whistle. The shot there by Murphy was high and off target, but was backed up. I think that was a missed call there, and I think Coach Rabba is calling that out as the Tufts player was running before the whistle and really got a head start. Officials did not call it back. Thrown over Johnson. The underhand shot is off the mark there from Michael Matson. 44 goals on the year. Tufts started off their year 11-0. Then they suffered through a 4-game losing streak. Lost to Wesleyan in the process. Before getting back on the board, the shot there off the mark from Ben Conley, who is second-team All-NESCAC this year. Ball thrown away by Murphy, out of bounds. Wesleyan will pick up the ball. Carter Hawthorne starts. Back to Stanton, back to Hawthorne. These two combined for quite a few goals this year. .45 to go. Worked over to Hawthorne. Back to Stanton. Here's Barker. He wraps around goal line extended, turns back, finds it to Hawthorne. Hawthorne goes right on up to Stanton. Then over to Gesquire. Flicks it behind. And back up to Hawthorne. Here is Cole Turpin. Turpin, underhand shot there by Gesquire. He got checked right as he was releasing it. Good check there coming in was Lansdale. Stanton works behind X, feeds it, and a great save by Schmerler comes up big with the body to make the save. Big hit coming in there as Hawthorne lost it. Looked like a push in the back, no call. And picked up over to Stanton. He's going to try and slow things down here. Schmerler with the first save of the day came up big. Stanton operates behind X, feeds it out front, and clear push in the back. Will keep possession with the Cardinals. 15-1, second seed here in the NESCAC. Safely into the NCAA tournament. If Tufts were to lose today, they would certainly be on the bubble. Feed out front and another save by Schmerler. Underhand shot by Stanton is off the mark. It's backed up. 2 great saves. Barker was closest to the sideline. The feed to Stanton. He was a ways out. Hawthorne. Over to Barker. Barker spins. Feeds Hawthorne. Hawthorne in the middle. Behind the back. Shot there. No good by Gesquire. Backhand shot. Flicked on up to Christian Barker. He'll go all the way over to Hawthorne. Gesquire. Feed in traffic. Bouncer in the back of the net. Cole Turpin gets the Cardinals on the board first as their sideline goes nuts. 11:37 left here in the first quarter of play, and we are no longer scoreless. Face-off number 2 of the game. Tufts, the 7-time defending NESCAC champions. As this face-off goes all the way over and coming out to it, great check right on the hands, Mathers, but a push in the back. A little too much there. But again, Zach Savalik able to win possession. Mathers came in with a great check initially, but then pushed from behind. Bergman flies it over, luckily coming out to it, flicking it all the way up to Ben Shively. They'll go behind to Stanton. Wesleyan making their substitutions to get up to Barker. Wesleyan is coached by John Raba, who was named NESCAC Coach of the Year. Turning around, Harry Stanton gets himself on the board here today. That's his 60th goal of the year. That was likely unassisted, and he made that look very easy operating behind X. 2-0. Wesleyan jumps out to a lead. Yep, unassisted Harry Stanton. He's tied for the lead in goals with Charlie Fay, who put in 4 today. But Stanton's got the whole rest of this game to build. Great face-off battle. Holland wins this one cleanly, and he's got tremendous size for Division III. Carboni, actually that's Lansdale, gets it in, gets a touch to Murphy. Murphy pushed aside by Rodriguez, and he throws it away. Turnover, Tufts. Wesleyan picks up possession, and you can hear their fans as Eric Morales back to Bergman. Murphy pressuring. Bergman looking for somebody to throw the ball to. He's going to throw this one all the way down. Easily picked off there by Brookmate. Brookmate able to cause the turnover there on Stanton. They feed right in the middle of the field, as that is Geppert. Feed in traffic. Murphy had it for a second, had it knocked out of his stick. Big hit right down low. Coming up with it is Wesleyan right in front of their own goal. Bergman comes up with the ground ball. He's going to throw an outlet pass. Nice accuracy there all the way over to Gray Bradshaw Mack. He feeds it up to Kotzen. On the doorstep is Stanton. Decides to wait. Gets it over to Hawthorne. Flicked all the way over to Barker. Barker turns. Gasquire puts it in the back of the net. Bounce shot. Mid-right. Right inside that pipe. And 3-0. What a start here for the Cardinals. .9:13 to go first quarter. It has been all Wesleyan. Zavalik and Holland once again will fight for the faceoff. Holland wins it, then runs right in. It's going to be a push called on Wesleyan. Push from behind. Actually, they called it on Tufts, as it looked initially like the referee signaled one way. Wesleyan all the way up to Ryan Flippin. Attacking the zone. Pushed aside is Cotton. Operating is Ekstrom. All the way up to Flippin. Flippin turns around behind the cage. Comes all the way around. Gets it to Hawthorne. Hawthorne will toss it up to Cotton. Cotton bounces one over to Hawthorne. Left open! Fires up 4-0 Wesleyan. Underhand rip by Carter Hawthorne. And Tufts will take a timeout here. 8:22 to go. They are rattled. They trail by 4. We'll step aside. 8:22 to go. We'll be right back after this timeout right here on NSN. Back here on the Northeast Sports Network, Russ Thompson here with you, and it is all the Wesleyan Cardinals here. They are coming in as hot as any team in the country. 15 straight wins. Their only loss coming 2 months ago, 15-14 at Bates here on this field. Since then, they have rattled off 15 wins in a row. Face-off violation by Holland, and momentum continues to build. Wesleyan gets a touch in the zone there. That's Colin Hitter. Over to Barker. Barker flings it over for Turpin. Best defense in the NESCAC versus the best offense. Fired over, Gesquire. Good ball movement here by the Cardinals. They go behind. Stanton tries the wraparound shot. It's backed up. Gesquire's shot is off target, but it was backed up by Stanton. Stanton operates behind the cage. He's matched up. His shot acrobatically off the mark. Gesquire, kick save by Schmerler. Flaked back in, and Barker maintains, and Wesleyan has dominated possession here in the opening quarter. Barker fires that one just a couple inches off target to the right. Midway through the first quarter, it is all Wesleyan. If the Jumbos were to lose today, they'd have to certainly hold their breath for selection. Big hit there coming in, and it's a late hit. Hawthorne draws the flag. And man up, we will see the Cardinals go. Our previous semifinal game was a thriller 14-13 Middlebury win over the number 1 seed undefeated Bates Bobcats. But that game did not have a single penalty. And halfway through the first quarter, we have our first penalty of the day, as the Cardinals will come in here. Man up. There'll be a penalty. That'll be on Zach Lesko, 30-second push in the back. The scoreboard clock is not, now they just started it, but they waited about 5 seconds to start it, so this will be a Gesquire bounces it, doesn't matter. They capitalize, make it 5-0 Wesleyan. Too easy was going to say the scoreboard operator didn't start it for about 5 seconds, but it wouldn't have mattered as they scored so early in that man up. Tufts. I mentioned it earlier. The last time a team other than Tufts University won the NESCAC championship for men's lacrosse, it was Wesleyan back in 2009, the first year of the Obama administration. And they're going to call a push there on, I believe, Holland. And if that's his second violation, the third one would result in a 30-second penalty. If you have 3 face-off violations in one half, then that triggers the flag. That could have just been a push, though, because it was a little bit after. Wesleyan killing time while they make substitutions. Flicked all the way over, finding Kotzen. Kotzen draws a slide, feeds. It's DuPont all the way over to Flippin. Flippin will go behind the cage, find it to Hawthorne. Hawthorne's playing a little one-on-one. Feeds it to Stanton. Stanton! Underhand shot from a difficult angle. There was nothing Ben Schmerler could do about that. And it is 7-0. Talk about a team coming out of the gates roaring. It's 6-0. The scoreboard actually said 7 there momentarily. I was thinking, where was the 6th goal? And Mathers has come in, the long stick to take that face-off. He's done this for Tufts this year and wins it. Ball thrown, difficult, caught by Lansdale. He likes to go on and play a little bit of offense with the long stick. Murphy. Over to Matson. Matson feeds. Underhand, drawing back. He'll go behind to Murphy. Murphy on the doorstep, and Tufts breaks the drought. They will pull back 6-1. 5:40 to go. On the goal there from Zach Richmond. That is Richmond's 38th of the year. He is very much a finisher and so important for Tufts to get something on the board here as everything has gone against their way in the first quarter so far. Mathers again wins the faceoff cleanly, takes a big hit. 2 Wesleyan players collide. This is last off of Mathers. His stick, so the Cardinals fortunate there. Barker gets a touch in the zone. Feeds it off for Hawthorne. Hawthorne will go across the field. He'll feed Turpin. Turpin and Barker playing catch. Barker feeds. Gesquire on the doorstep, underhand shot. Hawthorne took a big hit after the play, no call. Schmerler feeds it out quickly. Sprinting across here is Shanks. Shanks runs the fast break, keeps it. He shoots it. It's off the mark. Players colliding. It'll be the Jumbos who are closest to it. Murphy complaining that he can't restart it. Under 5 minutes to go here. 6-1. An electric start for the Cardinals. Tufts can certainly score with anybody in the country. Their problem this year has been defensively. They feed behind. That one under the legs of Matson. He comes up with it. Wesleyan's defense all over the place. Matson shoots it right off of a Wesleyan defender, and they are off and running. The feed over. Big stop. Here's Colin Hitter. That one came right off the body of a Cardinal defender. And the wind is picked up here. It's not raining at the moment. Lots of rain over the last 24 hours, so the field is very slick. We've seen quite a few people lose their footing. Here's Stanton. Leads the NESCAC in goals. Over to Hawthorne. Hawthorne and Stanton playing a little give and go. Cardinals feed it all the way up to Cole Turpin. Turpin sprints around the cage. Lays it off for Stanton. Stanton will go to Hawthorne. Hawthorne creates a little bit of separation, looking for a cutter, skips it over. Underhand shot. Parker! Bottom corner. 7-1 Wesleyan. That's his first goal of the game. And the Cardinals have come out here with authority. Assist to Cole Turpin. Wesleyan's come up short last time in 2013 in the championship game against Tufts. Tufts won 7 straight years under the tutelage of Coach Mike Daly. But he moved up the ranks in the offseason. He is now the head coach at Brown University. And it's a new leadership in Medford, Mass. As Casey Donalfo, 2006 graduate of Tufts, took over the reins. Mathers wins again, and this has been a huge adjustment for Tufts. And the shot from Matson. Quick restart, 7-2. Good answer for the Jumbos, and they have found success. Henry Holland was really struggling at the faceoff effects, but they've put the long stick midfielder, Tucker Mathers, one of the 2 captains of this Jumbos team. He has come on and had success. Wesleyan will now turn, looks like, to Jason Gibson to take the faceoffs. .302 to go, 7-2. Wesleyan on pace to score about 30 goals in this game. Mathers again wins it very cleanly. You don't often see this. Matson skips it over. The ball is thrown out of bounds. We'll see if it was deflected. It was deflected. It'll stay with the Jumbos. Murphy missed the last 2 games with injury. He's back here today, leads the team in points, second in the NESCAC in points. Feed behind the cage. That's Frank Hatler. Hatler skips the pass. Matson, good ball movement. The shot just up over the cage coming from Nick Katz. Hatler feeds Murphy. Murphy skips it over. Matson had the ball taken right out of his stick. Murphy comes up with the ground ball, comes around the cage. His shot is off target. 2:07 to go in the first quarter, 7-2. The 2 seed leaves the 5 seed. The 7-time defending 5 seed. Skipped over, and that pass came out all wrong as Lucas Johnson was trying to make that pass, and he got checked right as he made it. Throws it out of bounds. Back to Bergman. First team all NESCAC goaltender. Feeds it over to Rodriguez. Sprinting right through is Flippin. Gets held, and a save there by Schmerler. Starts the restart quickly. Gets it into Zach Lesko's hands. Lesko bulldodges right through one defender. Gets it to Murphy. Murphy looking for cutters. And that one almost picked off, and now off and running. Great stick check there by Bradshaw Mack. Almost loses it. Does lose it along the sideline there. Murphy comes up with it. The double team comes. Murphy releases it, somehow passes it, and it's an opportunity here for the Jumbos, putting it in the back of the net. Looks like that's Carboni, the long stick. What a turn of events there as Tufts capitalizes 7-3. Murphy able to save that one along the sideline and then evade the double team and throw almost a perfect pass over to Carboni. This game has really swung after Tucker Mathers was put in at the face-off X. 7-3. Largest lead was 6-0. And then 7-1 as well. But it's been 2 straight goals for the Jumbos. Usually teams bring in their long stick if their face-off guy is not having success to try and switch things up, but Tufts has been able to win with their face-off, their long stick. Ground ball being fought for. Big battle here coming up. And Tufts able to win it out, throwing it all the way back. Good ground ball pickup there by Luke Kurtz. Here's Tyler Olney throwing it all the way down to Murphy. 30 seconds to go here. Murphy feeds behind the cage. Shot is off the mark. Not much of an angle there for Conley. 25 seconds to go. "20 seconds. Up to Johnson. Johnson operating. Skips it behind. Finds Connolly. Connolly all the way up to Mattson. He spins out a one. Skips it over. Johnson with an acrobatic catch. Skipped over. 5 seconds. Tufts has got to get a shot off, and a great save by Bergman. Denying it right in front. And a lot after the play there by Murphy. Pushing in towards... I don't know how the officials let that go. Looked like he was going after Andres Rodriguez. And the officials let it go. 7-2 after one, or 7-3 after one quarter. We'll be back with the second quarter right here on NSN. Back here for the start of the second quarter of action. Russ Thompson here with you live from Garcelon Field on the campus of Bates College, where the top seed was upset by the 6-seeded Middlebury Panthers earlier today. The 2-seed Wesleyan has a 7-3 lead after one quarter, as they jumped out to a 6-0 lead, but certainly seemed like Tufts was gaining momentum there at the end of the first quarter. And they were spurred by the decision to throw long stick midfielder Tucker Mathers. He's taken 70 faceoffs coming into today. It's about a 50% percentage, but they tried Henry Holland, their normal faceoff guy, and he was not having success. Looks like it's Zach Zavalek. Mathers again wins it very cleanly. This time he couldn't get it, as great defense there by Zavalek. The ball bounced under Mathers' hands, and Zavalek was able to come up with it. Behind to Stanton. And over to Hawthorne. A little bit of wind here. The rain has finally ended. Might come back, though. You never know. All the way up to Turpin. Turpin flicks it on over for Barker. Barker matched up with Kurtz. Skipped on over. The feed to Hawthorne. Stanton comes behind on the cage there, and it looked like a push from behind, not called. And you can hear it. DuPont was open. Certainly looked, the ball was coming loose, but there was a clear push from behind, not called. Certainly, I think they let a little bit more go in these NESCAC championship action. Shot is off the mark there, coming from Hatler. .45 to go in the second quarter, 7-3. Off the restart, Murphy. Johnson feeds up to Conley. Back to Johnson. Johnson flicks behind. Conley open. Shoots it. Bergman with a great save. Came down low. Quick outlet pass. Wesleyan, great job to clear it over to Hitter. Hitter gets a touch. Hitter operates from behind, keeps Conley on the field. He looks a little bit gassed. Flick right in traffic. The ball comes just loose as Ekstrom went to shoot it. Schmerler comes out of the cage, throws that one, and it's flicked back. Heads up play there to come up and get it was Rosengroup. Still maintains possession. Johnson, or a Hitter, that is, comes around, goal line extended, and the ball comes loose. Tremendous check there. Coming up with it is Hitter. Throws it back to his goaltender, and a tough one, but tremendous check there by Andres Rodriguez. Ball's thrown away. Coming up with it is Richmond. Feeds it all the way over to Johnson. Double team comes on Johnson, and a great check coming in from Mendelson. He's fighting for the ground ball. Mattson puts a big hit in there. They go behind to Murphy. Murphy finds it top corner. Hatler, 7-4. So what an unsettled situation there. Both teams creating turnovers, committing turnovers, and Tufts able to take advantage, and they have scored 3 straight goals. This game was 7-1, now it is 7-4. Tufts will go back to Holland on this face-off. Versus Zavalik. 11:49 to go, second quarter, 7-4. 2-seed leads a 5-seed. Might as well throw the seeds out of it, though. Holland won the scoop there, but Zavalik, great job to recover. And a tremendous ground ball coming in there by Malarichuk. Cardinals play a little give and go between Hawthorne and Stanton. Hawthorne really getting that pressure all the way out. Here's Turpin behind to Stanton. Stanton skips it over, finds Turpin with space. He fires up over the cage. Here's Zavalik staying in here. Skips it. Finds Hawthorne. Hawthorne was trying to feed that one right on the cage to a wide open DuPont who thought he was going to shoot it. Unfortunate because that was a good look. Brookmate weaves in and out. Throws that one. It's picked off. And drawing a foul there. It's going to be a foul on. The jumbo's in it, and there should be another one. As that was a late hit and a high hit on Shanks. We didn't see a second flag thrown. But Wesleyan will have the man advantage. Gasquire gets a full head of steam. Over to Barker. Wesleyan still making their substitutions. Running off and in the top corner. Finding it is Cole Turpin. And it's 8-4. And that was an absolute rocket to the top left-hand corner. Second goal of the day for Cole Turpin. .9:39 to go. The penalty will be should have been 2 penalties on Shanks. But it's a 1 minute, I believe, cross check. Mathers unable to win that faceoff as Zavalik wins it clean. And that's going to be an offside on Tufts with possession. So they will go down 2 men as a very unintelligent play there by Michael Matson. Really had no chance at getting the ball. And we'll have a timeout taken by the Cardinals. We'll take it as well. 9:27 to go. They lead 8-4 right here on the Northeast Sports Network. We are live here on the Northeast Sports Network. It is going to be a 2-man advantage here for the Cardinals. They actually got Lansdale for a penalty there. Could have been a offside as well, so. Wesleyan can really capitalize and build on this lead. Just 4 long poles for the Jumbos. Cardinals work it around. Gasquire skips, finds Barker. Up to Gasquire. Stanton. Back to Stanton. Gasquire's got some space. Here's Stanton. They're really looking to move this Jumbo's defense. Skipped. Gasquire. Stanton. The feed right on the doorstep in the back of the net. Christian Barker. Patience shown by Wesleyan. And 9-4. They have really come out here. I don't believe both penalties should release. They both come off the score sheet. Or the scoreboard up there. They don't normally both. There was about 16 seconds left on one of them and 27 on the other, but what do I know? Mathers with the face-off violation. Zavalik has really come back here and adjusted well. Wesleyan finds it over to DuPont. Behind the cage to Hawthorne. Wind picking up here. 9-4. Wesleyan wants to knock the Jumbos off their perch. Stanton found, and he puts it left-hand corner. That's 10 in the opening half for Wesleyan, and we've got 8:22 to go. That is a hat trick for Harry Stanton. 62 goals on the year. Credit there goes to Xander Kotzen for finding Harry Stanton so wide open. Wesleyan is not slowing down here. That's 3 straight goals for them after Tufts pulled within 3. Zavalik again wins the initial clamp. He gets pushed after the play. Mathers fighting hard over there. And a good job keeping it alive there is Shively. Tremendous job. He really flicked that under Mathers' legs. And again, Wesleyan able to maintain offensive possession. Last year, Wesleyan lost in the quarterfinal round to Bowdoin. Barker operates behind X. That one throws it right off of the head of Hawthorne, who's looking around for it. It took a deflection out of bounds. Right off the helmet. Schmerler comes out of his cage. We mentioned it earlier, the interesting dynamic here where Ben Schmerler plays the first half of every game, and Robert Trieber plays the second half, no matter what the situation is. Great defense there. Stanton comes up with the ground ball, and wide open is Hawthorne. Puts that one in the back of net. 11-4. The Cardinals have come alive here. They are looking to make a statement. Timeout Tufts. 7:09 to go in the second quarter, and they are on the ropes. We'll take a timeout. We'll be back right after this on the Northeast Sports Network. The 7-time defending NESCAC champs are very much on the ropes here. As Wesleyan has come out, 11 goals in an entire game is a pretty decent offensive output, and they have 11 midway through the second quarter. And that has been the Achilles heel of Tufts all year long. They have consistently led up double-digit goals, especially over a 4-game losing streak, 21, 19, 17, 19. And that was the month of April. They're going to have Mathers in on this faceoff again against Zavalik. Zavalik wins possession. Actually gets pushed from behind. Very easy call right there. Tufts on the ropes. Last time a team other than Tufts won the NESCAC championship, it was 2009, and it was Wesleyan. That's Coach John Raba's only NESCAC championship. He was the NESCAC Coach of the Year this year, as this team is on a 15-game winning streak. You have to go all the way back to March 5th, their only loss of the year. Ball comes loose, and a great job to pick it up on the run is Brookmate. He throws it over to Mathers, and Tufts has an offensive fast break here. Ball skipped over, not a great pass, and Matson did not put his body in front of it. It bounces out of bounds. Thrown just a little bit over. 3 jumbos converge, and coming up with it is Powers. Skips it over, finds Richmond. That was only actually who came up with the ground ball. Murphy, who's been kept in check here today, loses the ball, just comes right out. And Barker comes up with it, and Murphy is crushed. Looked like he was going to fake a pass, and it just came loose. Barker bounces it. Great save. Schmerler got down low. Hawthorne comes up with the rebound. Up to Turpin. Over to Gesquire. Skips it. Out front, Barker. Shot backed up by Stanton. Stanton will skip it all the way up. Finds it over to Hawthorne. Bouncer in the back of the net. Wesleyan is not stopped yet as Tom DuPont gets himself on the board. 12-4. Usually the Tufts sideline is up celebrating, but right now it is Wesleyan who's come in here and shocking everybody. When these two teams played back on April 22nd, Wesleyan had to score 5 of the last 6 goals of the game to prevail in that one, 17-16. And Harry Stanton had 8 goals. Today they have come out and established a lead. Mathers with a quick draw there, comes up with it. Passes it over. Matson has trouble. And it's picked back up by Kurtz. Kurtz over, finds it to Lesko. 5 minutes to go. It's a 5-0 run by the Wesleyan Cardinals after Jumbo's pulled back within 3. Johnson. Johnson gets pushed. Somehow saves it. Connolly. Ball gets deflected. Loose. Johnson comes up with it. It's going to come towards half. Matson loses his footing, able to pick up the ground ball. Skipped over to Matson. Underhand shot. Bergman reads it very well. Goes up. Throws an outlet pass. Almost right on the money. As picking it up is Morales. Skipped over. Longstick's got it. That's Shively. Shively still maintains possession. And Coach Rabba with a great timeout there, noticing his team was in peril of losing possession. 3:50 to go. We'll take a quick break. Come back here on the Northeast Sports Network. $3:50 to go, second quarter. It has been all Wesleyan. They're on a 5-0 run right now. Coach Rabbit with a heads-up timeout right there, noticing that Ben Shively, his long stick midfielder, was in some trouble. That's what happens when you are Coach of the Year. Come up with decisions like that. Here's Cole Turpin. Feeds it behind to Stanton. All the way up to Gesquire, who's been kept in check, if you will, considering the offensive output. Turpin goes behind. Gesquire. Forced to run. Lansdale pressuring. is not a ward, even though Jumbos fans are calling for it. You have to extend your opposite hand. Ball thrown away there by Barker. Kicked back. What a heads-up play there. Looked like that was Colin Marchuk, who came up and just kicked the ball. You can kick the ball in lacrosse. Hawthorne draws a slide. Now he's got a short stick. He likes that matchup. 2:45 to go, second quarter, 12-4. Wesleyan. Hawthorne draws a slide. Skips it over. Stanton had the ball come loose. They're going to call a hold there on Stanton. Ball's thrown right on the money, all the way over to Brian Powers. Powers gets it to Kurtz. Jumbo's going to try and get some momentum going in here before the half. They will certainly be at a deficit. Connolly. Feed underhand. Connolly shot too high. 2:12 to go, second quarter. Another storyline here in this tournament is that both Middlebury and Tufts sit at 7 NESCAC championships, which dominates the rest of the league. The NESCAC has had championships since 2001, and with a win, they would break that tie, whether it was the Jumbos or the Panthers. The Panthers really improbable. Connolly, bounce shot off target to the left. It was backed up by the Jumbos. Johnson to Murphy. Murphy pressured right off the bat. Gets out of it. Skips the pass. Connolly, I don't think was ready for it. It's going to come all the way out to Stanton, who picks up the ground ball, and he is off and running. Stanton feeds Hawthorne. Bounce shot in the back of the net. 13-4. So unselfish there by Harry Stanton to feed his teammate Carter Hawthorne. And the run continues. Jumbo's very much on the ropes here in the first half. Their last goal coming with 11:49 in the second quarter. And since then, it has been all Wesleyan. They are on a 6-0 run. Mathers wins a quick face-off. Zavalik uses his body, fighting for that ground ball. It's pushed, and that's a hold. Clear hold, and pushing after. Mathers should get some sort of a call. That was way after. Shively wanted out and was going to be gone, but Mathers with a clear hold, and then he's really fortunate not to pick up another penalty. To Stanton. 1 minute to go. A goal here would make this a 10-goal advantage. Hawthorne feeds behind to Stanton. Stanton comes around, bounces it, comes back off the cage. Rebound is picked up by Ekstrom. 44 seconds. The feed up to Flippin. Flippin finds Kotzen. 30 seconds to go. Hawthorne back to DuPont. DuPont's got a short stick. Skips it over. Stanton fakes the shot. Feeds right on the doorstep. Top corner, Ekstrom. And that was a phenomenal pass by Harry Stanton. Everybody thought he was going to shoot that, and he found Ekstrom. Good catch by Ekstrom right on the doorstep. I believe that is Cody Ekstrom's second goal of the year. Actually, third. Ten-goal advantage. Count me as surprised as you are. That's Ekstrom's second goal of the year. Quick face-off win by Zavalik. Feeds it. And a good save there by Schmerler, who allows 14 goals in this half. And that is how we will end the first half of play. Wesleyan on pace for 28 goals. The top defense in the NESCAC is on top of the top offense in the NESCAC. And somehow we have a 10-goal advantage at the half. We will step aside, come back in about 10 minutes for the second half right here on the Northeast Sports Network. Back here at the half, it is all Wesleyan. Almost doubling up Tufts in shots, and they have a 24-7 shots on goal advantage. Tufts had 10 saves in that first half. 13 faceoffs won for Wesleyan. They were 2 of 2 on the man up. Stanton, Hawthorne both have hat-tricks. Barker, Turpin, and Gesquire all have 2 goals apiece. And Ekstrom and DuPont chipping in as well. And for Tufts, Richmond has a goal, Matson has a goal, Hattler has a goal, and Carboni has a goal. Robert Trieber in there for the second half, as Tufts has done all year long, as Henry Holland wins the opening face-off here of the second half. Flicks it on over. Jumbo's looking. Johnson over to Murphy. Murphy did not score a goal in that first half. Up to Conley. Murphy did have 2 assists, though. Leads the team in goals and points. Hattler feeds over to Murphy. Conley gets it to Johnson. Johnson push, gets it behind Hattler. Murphy can't catch. And scooping up the ground ball, and off and running his hitter. Murphy missed the last 2 games of the regular season with an injury. Came back today, so certainly whether or not he's at 100% is a good question. A flag thrown here. It'll be against the Jumbos. As the Jumbos were offside, now they're going to throw in that extra defender as the penalty has already been committed. Gesquire shot. Trieber, first action of the second half, he makes the save. So an interesting dynamic here for Tufts, as Ben Schmerler plays the first half of every game, and Robert Trieber plays the second half of every game. Schmerler had 10 saves in the first half, but allowed 14 goals. He came in. One official calling time here. I think he wants to talk things over. "30-second penalty here, as one official is going to come over. And the penalty right now is on Michael Matson. 13:03 to go here in the third quarter. 10-goal advantage. The 7-time defending champs are on the ropes. So referees talk things over. This is the 30-second technical penalty. Gesquire feeds it up, finds it to Turpin. Turpin goes behind. Hawthorne skips it back. All the way up to Gesquire. Feeds it. Good ball movement here. Up to Gesquire. Time and space. Took a deflection. And that'll be backed up by Hawthorne. 5 seconds left on the penalty. Hawthorne comes around goal line extended. Skips it up to Gesquire. All even. Gesquire loses it, and Trieber comes up with a big save, and he likes to get out and run. Throws it over to Brookmate. Transition here. Brookmate shot off the mark. Good job there by Turpin to get on his hands. The race to the end line was won by Murphy. $12:15 to go. No score here in the third quarter. Murphy trots inside. Hattler right on the doorstep, and a great save by Bergman. Johnson with the quick stick shot attempt. There's a reason why Ted Bergman was first team all NESCAC, and he has come up here today and played like it. Skips it all the way over, finds it to Morales, who goes down to Hawthorne. Hawthorne does get that important touch. Backs his man up. Only has come out pressuring. Stanton sets a pick, and he gets run right over. Actually, that was Morales who set the pick. Ball gets up to Stanton. He flicks it on over to Carter. Barker, that is. Excuse me. Gesquire turns, gets it in his right hand. And another save by Trieber, and he loves to get out and running here. It's interesting for Tufts. Opposing defenses all year long have had to deal with completely different goaltending styles. This ball's thrown, kept in play by Kurtz. Somehow keeps it in play, and now Kurtz let it go out of bounds. And this one's thrown right back as Gray Bradshaw Mack could not keep that in play. So both teams with turnovers. Johnson throws it over to Hattler. Murphy throws it off the pipe there. Took a crazy deflection backwards, but very close to pulling back within single digits. Yes, if you're just joining us, it is 14-4. The Jumbos have not scored since 12 minutes left in the second quarter. It has been a 7-0 run by Wesleyan. Mattson fires over to Johnson. Johnson spins. Lays it off. Hattler comes around the cage. Behind the back. That one is picked off. And off and running is Barker. This is a fast break opportunity. Barker skips it over. Stanton. Underhand shot deflected. And the Cardinals are first two. Only the defenseman there, a little bit slow to get up. He took a big collision with Stanton. Turpin sets up Johnson, goes inside, creates separation, skips it over in the back of the net. That is Tom DuPont, and the hits keep coming for Wesleyan, 15-4. First goal of the second half of play, and this is an 8-0 run. Jumbo scoreless for 17 minutes plus. Holland's come back in to take this face off at Zavalik. He comes up with it, has trouble with the ground ball, does pick it up one-handed, and takes a big hit. Zavalik, great check coming in behind. Tosses it over to Rodriguez, who finds Bergman. Bergman, pass right on the money. Releasing there was Morales. Hawthorne gets a touch in the zone. Fires it over. Here's Flippin. Flippin brings it behind the cage. Stanton. Flippin's got a short stick. Draws the slide. Up to Stanton. Stanton operates behind the cage. On over to Kotzen. 8:20 to go. Stanton works off a pick. Skips it out front. Tried to find it there to Ekstrom. Ekstrom does well to pick up the ground ball. The pass was just a little bit behind. Hawthorne, he's got a short stick defender. And Shanks likes that matchup. Spins, loses Shanks. Fakes the pass, does pass it over to Stanton. Stanton! Rip! Right under the crossbar. Hawthorne appreciates it after he took a hit on the assist. Harry Stanton. And folks, we have a running clock scenario here. Should be running clock. It's a 12-goal advantage. $16-4. Not sure if the clock operator is aware. Holland flicks it up into the air. Nobody seems to know where it is. Zavalik comes up with the ground ball. He gets double-teamed over in the corner. Splits the double team. And timeout taken. We'll take it as well. Right here on the Northeast Sports Network. 7:45 to go in the third quarter. 16-4, believe it or not, right here on the Northeast Sports Network. Back here, just got clarification from our official scorer. There is no running clock rule in men's college lacrosse. There is in high school boys lacrosse and college women's lacrosse, but there is no 12-goal rule. But Jumbos are going to have to go on a run of epic proportions just to get back into this one, as they have been thoroughly dominated. And you always want to be playing your best lacrosse at the end of the year, and you could say that about the Wesleyan Cardinals, because they have just dismantled Tufts here today. They have 16 goals with a quarter and a half left to go. And if Tufts is to lose this game, they will very much be on the bubble. Stanton, good job by Schreiber to read that one and start the fast break. Brookmate comes up with it. One-handed cradle there with the long stick. He's looking, feeds it off for Murphy. Murphy up to Matson. Feeds over to Kurtz. Kurtz goes to Hatler. The scoreless drought continues for the Jumbos. Last time they scored a goal was with about 12 minutes to go in the second quarter. They keep making substitutions here. Conley feeds it back. Matson off the crossbar, and they can't buy a goal. Xander Kotzen, full extent there for the Cardinals, tried to get closest. Johnson feeds Murphy back to Johnson. Conley, Matson. That one came right off of a Wesleyan defender. A flag's coming in here. Wesleyan comes up with it. It looked like Andres Rodriguez took a rocket right off the chest. He's, I guess, calling people off to say, I'm okay. So Tufts with a chance. This is a golden opportunity to pull back, as they're looking at a 20-plus minute scoring drought. Their last goal coming 11:49 left in the second quarter, when they pulled back 7-4. $9-0 run since then. Murphy, shot off target to the right, underhand. Feet on the doorstep. They do in the back of the net, and that snaps a lengthy scoring drought, as getting himself on the board is Ben Conley. We'll see if that can build some momentum for the Jumbos. The challenge for them is not only are they going to have to rattle off 11 goals here, but they're going to have to somehow find a way to slow down this Cardinals offense, which has just been pummeling them with goals. Holland wins a quick face-off, and this is how you do it. Fakes, looking for somebody to throw it off to, throws it to Murphy. Murphy operates behind the cage, fakes it. 5.5 to go, third quarter, 16-5. Madsen lays it off. Over to Hattler, his shot just off target to the left. Murphy draws the slide. Goes behind to Hattler. Back to Hattler. Skips the pass. It's deflected. Picked up. Great ground ball there by Morales. And he gets himself out of trouble. Perfect pass. Actually, it takes a bounce as Shively has trouble with it. And the Jumbos transition. Richmond, underhand shot way off target. And first two was Rodriguez. Hattler was in a battle over there with him. Thrown over to Malarichuk. He tosses it perfectly right on the money over to Thomas Clegian. You can just very clearly hear one of the Wesleyan fans here right in front of us say, take some time off the clock, boys, as they are in the very fortunate position. Over to Turpin. He goes behind the cage. Gesquire. Skipping behind Gesquire. His shot. Treber saves it. Second attempt saved by Treber as well. He's going to come out of the cage. Look for the ground ball. It's going to be last off of Treber. Quick restart. Nobody left him in. Treber makes a diving save. I don't think that's how they would draw it up if you're teaching a goaltender. But he made it happen. Brookmate comes down. Ball gets deflected. Murphy fighting for possession. And they're going to call a push there on the Cardinals. 3:27. Ball skipped all the way over to Conley. Conley gets his hands free. Shot sails over the crossbar. Richmond flicks it over to Hattler. Up to Madsen. Madsen shot off the helmet there of Rodriguez, who's taken a couple shots to the body here. Johnson feeds Murphy. Murphy skips it over to Hattler. Conley, skip pass under, right off the chest protector there of Bergman, and he's going to win the race to the corner. Talk about a save. Underhand rip from Murphy went right off of his chest protector. And Tufts has got to feel like they just are not having any fortune here today. Quite a few shots going off of Wesleyan defenders, some off the pipe, some off the crossbar. And they trail by 11. Pass right on the money. Feeding it over to Flippin. Flippin gets it taken away there by Carboni. Skipped all the way up. This is Lesko. Wesleyan sits back in their zone, which has caused trouble for the Jumbos here today. Madsen. All the way over to Kurtz. And Wesleyan just threw an offside penalty as they have 7 players in the defensive half. So they can double team the ball if they want. Shot goes wide. Jumbos with another opportunity to pull back within 10. So we are at 11-goal advantage right here. It's a 30-second penalty. 1:35 to go in the third quarter. Skip pass. Finding it. Matson. Connolly in the back of the net. And Jumbos with 2 goals in a row, 16-6. And they've got 16 and a half minutes to go. Momentum shifting, but certainly it's got to shift quite a bit more to really put this game in doubt. But they've been winning faceoffs. Holland and Zavlicek. Holland wins it cleanly, gets tripped up, and a late flag comes in. Holland was playing on the ground, which you're not allowed to do, but the referees did not call that. Murphy skips it over. Finds Hatler. Hatler looks to back down, looking for cutters. Gets it over to Murphy. Bounces it in the back of the net. They score, and they will go man up. 3 goals in a row for the Jumbos. 16-7. Don't count them out. Goal is good, and there will be a flag on the Cardinals. Trip. And it will be on the faceoff man, Zach Zavlicek. Jason Gibson will come in to take this one. Actually, apparently they released that penalty on the goal. But Gibson will still come in to take this faceoff, give Zavlicek a breather. 1:01 to go third quarter, 16-7. We're back to single digits. 3 straight goals by the Jumbos after a 9-0 run. Gibson played an illegal violation there. Behind to Murphy. Murphy up to Johnson. Johnson behind. Finds it to Hatler. Hatler loses the ball. It's between his legs. And Bergman comes up with it. And he can play the fast break here as Morales has time and space. 25 seconds to go. Hawthorne brings it behind the cage. Stanton made that run. Hawthorne did not throw it. Hawthorne does get it over to Stanton this time. Stanton, spin move. Skips it across. And another save by Trieber. And again, Stanton fed it right there before the half. And it looked like was not ready for it was Gustafsson. 16-7 after 3 quarters. The Jumbos with a 3-0 lead. They put this one in the balance. We'll step aside before the fourth quarter right here on the Northeast Sports Network. Treber comes up with it. They have back here for the start of the fourth quarter. 15 minutes to go. And the Jumbos, if they want to become 8-time defending champions, are going to have to make up that deficit. They've got 15 minutes to go. They certainly have the high-scoring offense. I think the onus is going to be on their defense, who's going to have to really, if not pitch a shutout, come very close to it. Because to score 9 goals in one quarter is quite a feat, but you're going to have to do that and not allow any goals as well if you're the Jumbos. They have built a dynasty here in this conference in the NESCAC. Sit at 7 championships, 7 years in a row. They have pulled it off. Holland has come in, and a great check there by Zavlicek, and he comes up with it. Terrific check, as Henry Holland had won that cleanly. Wesleyan gets it up to Colin Uiki as he's checked into the game. Feeds it up to Turpin. Gesquire. And Barker. Gesquire comes up with it. It'll be fascinating to see how the officials handle the stall. I don't think that's in Wesleyan's DNA to really be stalling too much, but how quick are they with that? Barker draws a short stick. Skip pass, and that shot by Hawthorne with his left hand was about 2 feet off the target. Was backed up by Barker. Here's Stanton. Comes around goal line extended. Thought about the shot there. He's pushed out. Hawthorne. He's got a short stick defender on him in Lesko. Hawthorne skips it up to Gesquire. Gesquire strong inside. Over to Stanton. Uiki. Here's Hawthorne. Hawthorne skips it over to Stanton. Stanton's got some time and space. He takes it, and the ball and his stick comes loose. Terrific check there by Olney. Treber comes up with it, and mentioned it a couple times. He likes to get out and run. Throws it up. Finds it to Lesko. Lesko goes over half. Tufts wanted an offside there, and the officials do call it as Uiki clearly stepped over. Now he releases as the penalty has come up. The ball's thrown out of bounds. And the penalty will come. 30-second technical. Uiki really shouldn't have contested that much. And these are the type of things that can really certainly allow the Tufts Jumbos to get back into this one. Looks like it's starting to pick up the rain again. I see people here bringing their umbrellas back out, putting their hoodies up. It's been off and on raining here for about the last 24, 36 hours. Really rained hard last night and this morning. 30-second penalty here. 16-7, 12 and a half minutes to go in the fourth quarter of play. Right here on the Northeast Sports Network. Russ Thompson here with you as we have the 7-time defending NESCAC champions on the ropes. Murphy skips it over. Some trouble there with Sider. He recovers. Richmond feeds to Murphy. Murphy's up top. Cedar skips it over, finds it to Matson. Matson gets his hands free. Bergman with a great save. Coming up with the ground ball here is Malarchuk. Bergman throws. And I believe that was a crease violation for Bergman coming back out and back into his crease because he threw that pass right on the money. Penalty has released, so we're back to all even. Matson feeds Murphy. Actually, Richmond that was, right on the doorstep and somehow missed the net. 11:49. Murphy up to Connolly. Matson finds a bottom right-hand corner between the legs of the goaltender. And the run continues. 4 unanswered goals. They still trail by 8, 16-8. Can the Jumbos pull off what would have to be one of the greatest comebacks in NESCAC championship history? They would make history. 2 teams have won 7 years in a row. Middlebury from 2001 to 2007. And the Jumbos from 2010 to 2016. They could break that history with a win here today. 11:42 to go. Faceoffs will become huge. Holland has come back in for the Jumbos in the second half, but Zavlicek wins that one cleanly, kicks it out, and first to it will be only. A flag coming in here, and penalties have been really allowing the Jumbos to come back into this game. On the doorstep, Matson, he puts it in the back of the net and draws a penalty after a late hit, and things are starting to fall apart. Looked like that was Eric Morales. That is 5 straight goals for the Jumbos, and they have plenty of time left here. Now they're back within 7. Goal counts, and the Jumbos will be back on the man up. They're winning faceoffs. The Cardinals are creating opportunities for them with untimed penalties. Both fan bases trying to pump up their teams. And there will be no face-off as penalty will be on Zach Zavlicek. Oh, there's 2 penalties. And another penalty will be coming here on Eric Morales. 2 one-minute penalties. 5 straight goals. Hattler and Murphy. Back to Murphy. Murphy pass in traffic, and there's another goal right on the doorstep. Richmond, 16-10. 6 straight goals. Cardinals have got to stop the bleeding here. 6 straight goals. It was 16-4. Those 6 goals. Last time Wesleyan scored was about 12 minutes ago. And there's going to be a hold there on Zavlicek, and Holland has come out here in the second half and been absolutely dominant at the face-off X. Less than 11 minutes. Murphy goes inside, draws the double team. Jumbos are rolling, but they still trail by 6. Hattler goes behind the cage. Hattler skips over. The feed up to Johnson. Johnson releases for Conley. Conley goes right back to Johnson. Johnson on the doorstep. The feed to Conley. His shot sails over the crossbar. I mean, momentum is completely with Tufts right now. Hattler behind to Murphy. Murphy, no-look pass. Matson, and Johnson's shot is about a foot up over the cage. Hattler, Murphy, skip pass on the doorstep, Richmond! 16-11, 7 straight goals. And we're back within 5. How about this? 10-minute score, or actually 13-minute scoring drought for Wesleyan, and in that time, it has been 7 straight goals for the Jumbos. And they have won almost every face-off over, they might have won every face-off over that run. Face-offs 14-15. Tufts now with an advantage. Holland wins the clamp once again. Ground ball. Looks like, oh, and a terrific ground ball picked up there by Carboni. Passed over right between the hands there of Matson. It's going to come right along. Murphy tries to save it last off of Tufts. And what a big possession that could be in the long run in this game. Wesleyan just looking to stop the bleeding. Bergman catches it in his crease. Now he's going to take a step out. Throws the pass right on the money. Splitting between defenders and maintaining possession here is Turpin. He gets it up to DuPont and behind to Stanton. Here's Hawthorne. Tufts defense has really settled down here. And now it's only a 5-goal deficit in the way that they have been rolling here offensively. Barker, Tufts already wants a stall call when Wesleyan hasn't even had possession for 30 seconds left. I mean, Kesquire goes behind to Stanton. Stanton, one-on-one with Brookmate. Barker looking for a cutter. Tries to feed it to Gesquire. The pass and a terrific job to keep it in play. That was Rodriguez. Full extent. Pushed that one over. Jumbos fans still calling for the stall. I don't think they're going to get it this early in a possession. Stanton loses possession. Picked up by Hawthorne. Skips it up. And it's over to Barker. Barker skips it over. Taking it with the left. Hawthorne goes behind to Stanton. Stanton tiptoes along the crease. Gesquire open, right out front, off the pipe, in back. And maintaining possession is Wesleyan. Somehow, off the pipe. 7:45 to go. 5-goal advantage for Wesleyan. They're not going to get a stall here as the shot just went off the pipe seconds ago. Jumbos fans cannot believe it, but I don't know how you can call a stall after 20 seconds after a shot went off the target. Stanton. Credit the Jumbos defense for absolutely turning things around on their head. They were leaking for the first 3 quarters, but they have settled down here. Skip pass, bounce shot in the back of the net, and that ends a run. Huge goal by DuPont. 17-11. Long possession there by Wesleyan. Did 2 things. Stopped a big-time run by the Jumbos, and they killed off about 3 minutes there. Still plenty of time here, 7:13 to go. But that is a big insurance goal. Assist to Carter Hawthorne, goal Tom DuPont. Their first goal in 20 minutes. Actually, about 16 minutes. I can't do math. Holland wins another faceoff. Pass is skipped all the way up to Kurtz. Matson shoots that one, deflected wide by Bergman. Behind the cage to Murphy. Murphy quickly gets it up to Conley. Katz back to Conley. Nick Katz. They'll go behind to Murphy. Back to Katz. He's open. Shot sails over the crossbar. It was backed up here by Matson. 6:40 to go. Hatler loses his man. Murphy off the side post there. How many posts have we hit in this game? Thrown right on the money. Here's Shively. He's forced to turn back around. Murphy with an extending dive. Check there to get the ball free. But recovering there and getting it over to Tom Clegian. And now Morales will have it. Clock ticks just about 6 minutes ago as Tom Dumont, that is, excuse me. Here's Harry Stanton. Stanton with 4 goals and 2 assists, and he feeds right out front and not able to capitalize. Treber runs the fast break up to Richmond. Skips it over to Matson. Matson denied by Bergman. Not a great shot there by Michael Matson, as they had a big opportunity, and I don't think you're going to get one past Bergman from there. Bergman comes out of his cage. Outlet pass. He's going to try and throw it down. Throws it right to the opposing goaltender, Treber. Brookmate tries to come up with the ground ball, throws it up into the air. He chases down the ground ball. And now the Jumbos will have some time. What's coming up with it here is Lesko. He'll go to Murphy. Murphy back to Lesko. 5 minutes to go, so now the Jumbos are really going to have to put some back in the net. They had all the momentum there. Lesko feeds it over. Johnson forced away. Every second counts here. Murphy back to Johnson. Johnson can't catch the pass. It goes along the sideline. Johnson loses his footing, stays inbounds. Conley comes up with the ground ball. Skips it over. Murphy looking for a cutter, and he's denied right there, pushing the back. And Jumbos will maintain possession. Murphy was trying to shoot that one, the pass from Hatler. 4:28 to go. So after this game was 16-4, Jumbos went on a 7-0 run. Wesleyan counter with a goal, and since then they have kept the Jumbos off the board. Conley turns around. Skipped up. Matson, underhand shot off target to the right. He's had 15 shots on the day, 3 goals. We'll have a timeout taken by the... Come back in just about a minute. We are back here on the Northeast Sports Network. Thank you for tuning in with us here today, whether you just tuned in for this game or you've been with us all day long. It's a pleasure to be able to broadcast this for you with the Northeast Sports Network. I'm Russ Thompson. And we have a finish here. If you left your computer about a quarter ago, this game was 16-4, but now it is 17-11 with the highest scoring offense in the NESCAC. But they need to put a flurry of goals in the back of the net here. Coming off the timeout. Skip pass, Conley. That one comes off the post, and Tufts has just been so unlucky. Skipped over, takes a deflection. Murphy comes up with the ground ball. Fakes a pass. That shot deflects off of Morales, or Rodriguez, that is. Rodriguez has taken 4 shots to his body here today. He'll have bruises all over. 3:45. Up to Conley. Tries to bulldoze his way through. Johnson, the pass, he can't get it. Matson with a big ground ball. 3.5 minutes to go. Tufts has got to get this deficit down lower. Behind the back, in the back of the net from Conley. 17-12, 3:25 to go. That's a hat trick for Ben Conley. Second team all NESCAC. More importantly in this one, it draws his team back within 5, but they've got 3:25 to go. So they've got to score, win the face-off, score, win the face-off, score, win the face-off, score, win the face-off, and score, win the face-off to tie this game up. The rain is picked back up here. It's coming down pretty decent, actually. Face-off X has been a great battle here today. It's going to be Holland and Zavlicek. Holland wins it cleanly. Gets it over to Carboni. Feeds Matson. Kurtz over to Murphy. Murphy trots all the way up. Feeds Johnson coming out of the box. Johnson skips it behind. Here's Hattler. Hattler spins. The ball comes loose. Bergman's going to come up with it. Throws it on the money. Morales comes over half. 2:45 to go. The 7-time defending NESCAC champs very much on the ropes here. Uiki has the ball come loose, picks the ground ball back up. Skips it over, finds it to Stanton. Should see a stall call coming up here momentarily. Timeout taken. Coach Rabba. 2:20 to go. We'll step aside quickly to finish when we come back right here on NSN. Back here on the Northeast Sports Network, Russ Thompson here with you, closing this one out. 2:20 to go. Heads up timeout there taken by Coach Rabba. A lot of times, I mentioned this earlier, a lot of times coaches do that so that they can try and add as much time on the official's mind in terms of that stall. But now officials have kind of adjusted to that, where they're not going to give that extra time. So I wouldn't be surprised at all if you saw a very quick stall warning coming up here. Trieber has come out of his cage, and he's matched up right now with Carter Hawthorne. Ball comes loose. Tufts is able to create the turnover. The feed. Here's Shanks. Tufts needs to score 5 goals here, and they have 2 minutes to do it. Conley feeds Murphy. Murphy back to Conley. He goes right in. Murphy. Matson, underhand shot, and a save by Bergman. Bergman comes out of his cage, picks up the ground ball, and he's got to get rid of it, and he does. Over to Rodriguez. He's going to throw it all the way down, just over the cage. That was on target if it was about 3 or 4 feet. And two flags are down, actually. I think Wesleyan was saying that was a shot. Don't know if you're going to get that argument, but looks like the Jumbos did commit a penalty regardless. Yep, it's a penalty on Danny Murphy. 1 minute. And they are moments away from booking their first trip back to the NESCAC championship game since 2013. And Tufts will not be in that game for the first time. Let's see, going back to 2008. Stanton. Wesleyan can just spread the field here. A goal is not very important. It's more important to take the time off the clock. Uiki. Double team comes, so that means two players. Uiki has his stick taken right out. Treber comes up with it. 55 seconds. Ball's thrown right out of bounds, and things are unraveling here for the Jumbos. They certainly had everybody on the ropes here. After building a 12-goal lead, they erased it back to within 5, and that is as close as they would come. Great pass all the way over to Christian Barker. 15 seconds left on the penalty, 45 left in the game. Brookmate comes up with the turnover. It's picked up on the run. Jumbos with 40 seconds left. Skip over, Matson. His shot is off target, and that's the type of day it has been for the Jumbos. Timeout taken. We'll keep it right here, 29 seconds to go, and it creates quite the discussion here. Wesleyan, obviously, if they hold on here, will lock up that automatic bid. But there is a big Wesleyan fans are really happy right now. They're situated right in front of me, but Wesleyan will obviously lock up the automatic bid to the tournament. And if you are the committee, how does a 12-5 Tufts team look to you that has played in the national championship game the last 3 years? Last year they lost 14-13 to Salisbury. The 2 years before that they were victorious. Do they deserve consideration considering they lost 5 of their last 6 games? But on the flip side of that, are you only going to take potentially 2 teams from the NESCAC? That is Amherst situated, or is their situation in after they? And does Middlebury steal a bid from Tufts if they're able to win tomorrow? As this one is thrown right out front, 10 seconds to go. It will be Wesleyan who moves on to the NESCAC championship game. They are a lock at this point. They can lock up the automatic bid with a win tomorrow. They advance 17-12, and we will have a new champion in the NESCAC conference as Wesleyan improves to 16-1 on the year with a 17-12 win, and they snap a 7-year championship streak for Tufts. They will advance to take on the 9-8 Middlebury Panthers, who nobody will overlook. We will have that broadcast tomorrow at noon right here on the Northeast Sports Network. It has been such a pleasure to be here from Garcelon Field with you today. 2 terrific matchups, 2 high-scoring affairs, and we've got one more with you tomorrow. That'll do it for myself, Russ Thompson, here today. For my cameraman producer, Dan Chassie, signing off. 17-12, Wesleyan advances right here on the Northeast Sports Network.